What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the Scale News Update. If you're not familiar with the show, this is where we talk about the news topics that happened in the scale world of RC over the past week. If you enjoyed the Scale News Update, hit the like button, and let's jump into this week's episode. First for this week, Factory Team, which is a division of Associated, released an upgrade part for their other division, Element. These are a machined ring, pinion, and spool setup for those enduro axles. This is a simple upgrade to beef up those axles. The ring and pinion gears can be the weak point of those elements, and this will help with that situation. The Factory Team set is a stock ratio, so not overdrive or underdrive, just the exact same as the centered parts. I'll put a link to where you can find these parts available in the description below, as well as links to the rest of today's stories. We got a tease this week from Traction Hobbies for a new 1/8 scale Ford Raptor. They didn't release any details with these images yet, just some photos with the text over top of it, and that's about all. But from the photos, it does look like this is going to be a hard body platform, IFS front, solid axle rear. And being that they're calling this a 1/8 scale and comparing it to some of their other vehicles that they call 1/8 scale, I believe that this is going to be a 2.2 vehicle. Not overly large tires, just comes with 2.2 wheels that look fairly proportionate. Now it's got a full light kit, it looks like, which is right in line with some of their other vehicles like it. And beyond that, we can see that it has a nice interior and not a ton else. It looks like it could be very similar to the Tank 300 that they released not so long ago, with having a very similar IFS and rear solid axle that looks like it matches the design. Now, it does say Raptor. It's got Ford across the grille, so we can assume that this is licensed. The paint scheme that's used in the teaser photos makes it look like some sort of funky U-Haul truck to me, but overall, I think this thing looks pretty good. 1/8 scale can be cool. It's nice to see larger vehicles at times, a proper IFS front and a solid axle rear. I'm all for it. So, gonna be interesting to see if we find full details on this and what exactly they're going to offer. Alongside the Raptor, they also announced the Tank 300 straight axle version. We saw the Tank 300 released last year, and they recently released a Tank 300 V2, which seemed to be very similar, like almost, no major changes from the previous one. But this is the straight axle version, as the normal or the original and the V2 both had that IFS front, solid axle rear. This solid axle front and rear. I think they're calling it like a competition spec. I don't know what the competition exactly would be, as this is, again, a larger vehicle, larger tires, but full body. So the Tank 300 is a vehicle that's available overseas, like the full-size version, and this is a scaled down one. While it may not be as recognizable to many of us, where it's just not available, in many other parts where Traction Hobbies may have a better market share, it is recognizable. Just like the Raptor, I have not seen full information available on this yet, just some early teaser images with some of these shots. Next, Reefs RC has got a new release. This is the Raw 800 LP. This is a low-profile servo that puts out about 800 ounce-inches of power at 8.4 volts. So this is not a direct power servo. Plugs right into your receiver and is powered by the BEC either inside of your ESC or an external BEC. Now, this is low profile, kind of targeted towards the Axial SCX10 Pro with its servo on axle mount that benefits from a low profile servo that doesn't hang below the axle tubes. Or if you've got another place where a low profile servo can be helpful, always a pretty decent idea. And when you can get this much power packed into that smaller package, everybody wins. Again, not direct power, but it does sound like these are going to be available very soon. You can check out Reefs RC. Again, linked in the description below. An update on the Traxxas situation in conjunction with all of those websites being shut down for copyright violations. It appears that all of the websites were reinstated not long after everything went down. It seems like everybody's back up and in running order, and I think everyone has all of their issues sorted. Traxxas did end up responding with a page on their website dedicated to giving guidelines on copyright usage. This is just a breakdown of overall copyright law, but in a way that's easy to read for brands that are making aftermarket parts. On that page, they put down some very helpful examples of ways that you can list your product that doesn't interfere with anything, as well as some guidelines on logo usage and things like that. Makes it pretty easy to understand, not a lot of legalese put into it. So if you're ever looking to do a Traxxas product and you just want to make sure you've got everything covered, they've put that up on their website, and I'll link to that page if you would like to go do some reading about copyright in your spare time. And if that sounds like something you'd enjoy, we could probably be friends. Speaking of Traxxas, if you're looking for TRX-4Ms, they're releasing each of the styles in 2 new colors. The Bronco is now coming in the Area 51, which is kind of like a gray blue, and then the Cyber Orange, which is yellow. The Defender version is going to be released in orange, which is orange, and tan. I found the information and photos on that from a website overseas, but have not seen it updated onto their website yet or available for purchase. I assume that that will likely be updated soon, or maybe even before this video comes out. At the end of this week, one of the largest RC no prep drag races is going to be going down. I believe that this is maybe the 4th year, 3rd or 4th year, but this is King of the Streets. This is happening in the Las Vegas area. It's awesome to see the number of competitors that head down and how these events have adapted to be able to accommodate so many people. They've got a qualifying day now where the top 256 drivers enter into the bracket. From there, I think they have racing Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Tons of racers, a lot of vendors, and I believe that they'll have a live stream available for this as well. So if you're interested in watching, you can follow their event page for that, or if you're in the area and you'd like to attend, check out their page. You can see all the information on the event. Locked Up RC released a new wheel last week. This is the Trail Ready HD. This uses a standard Vanquish SLW hub to mount, and it's made for a low offset design. This is designed to reduce the track width on vehicles that may have traditionally been seen as a little bit wider. Specifically, axles like the Axial Capra could possibly benefit from these. If you're interested in these wheels when ordering, make sure that you note that the price on this is per wheel. So you need to add 4. Also note that it does not include the external beadlock ring. You need to pick that up, and the hardware is not included for that ring either. So you'll need the rings, hardware, 4 wheels, and SLW hubs. Just a lot to note. Make sure that you note that when ordering. For those of you that are interested in the FTX brand, this is most commonly popular in Europe. They released the Outback Mini 6er. This is a 6x6, basically the same as the FMS Atlas 6x6, that 1/18 scale. FTX, I believe, generally rebrands things that can be seen under like RGT, and maybe that's the same place that FMS gets their model. Not 100% sure who the original OEM of the vehicle platform is, but in the end, like the tube bed on the back of this is basically identical. The axles and all that seem to be the exact same between the FMS and the FTX. So if one of those is more available wherever you are than another, then maybe it's an easy option for you. Price is pretty affordable on the FTX, 99 pounds, and whatever that equates to in regular dollars. Last week, Proline released some new 1/16 scale drag tires for that mini Losi drag car that was released not too long ago. Not long ago, Proline had also released a new body for that platform as well, so now some tires to go along with it. Assume that these perform a little bit better than the stock tire that comes on the Losi, but completely an assumption at that point. Haven't seen a ton of other, backing in the aftermarket at that scale for the drag car, but at least Horizon Umbrella is supporting that with some option parts as well. Proline also released a whole new series of ultra slim LED light bars. These are just narrowed way down LED, plug and play into your vehicle as is in a bunch of different widths. Always nice to see those options. Proline has so many body choices as well as the whole Axial line that having all of the different size options, nice to fit whatever custom build you've got going on. These light bars are available in 2, 4, 5, and 6-inch lengths. A couple of them are available now and some are still on pre-order. In the last release from Proline, they released their own liquid mask. I guess I'm kind of surprised that they didn't already have this released with all of their paints and the fact that they're a body company, but I don't know. I have no room to talk on anything about painting. So if liquid mask is something you like to use, I don't really know if there's a lot of brand options with liquid mask. I assume. I've never used it. Some of Tamiya's new release/launch. Some of Tamiya's most recent releases are going to be available coming up in May. The 2 that I found to be the most interesting are the 1/14 8x4, yeah, the Scania, or however you're supposed to say that, which is just an amazing looking Euro truck. And if you've never built one of the Tamiya big rigs, highly suggest it. A lot more fun than you ever would expect it to be. And this one looks ultra cool. The other release that they have coming out soon is the CC02 with the FJ40. Just a solid looking body on a solid axle platform. At least you can say that. Not exactly a master of off-road ability, but decent enough, and it's got a pretty good looking body that sits on top of it. This Wednesday, check out Matt's episode of Road to the Rockies. These things are starting to look like vehicles at this point. Things are getting exciting, and from here, let's hope that, you know, the ball is rolling down the hill and constant progress just looks and feels good. Check out Matt's episode this week. You can check out mine and all of the rest of our episodes up to this point. I'll link to the playlist for that in the description below. After that, Wednesday night, 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern. Come hang out for live stream takeover. This week we have a guest joining us again, and maybe Flying Cars Trivia. I'll find out. But come join us Wednesday. Always a good time. On last week's episode, I asked you guys all to sound off about your thoughts on the whole Traxxas copyright issue. This week, let's turn it into some positive comments. Just list your most recent positive accomplishment, whether it be RC or life, work, whatever it is. Place well at a local comp, go to your first event, build your first kit, promotion at work, whatever it is. Do a little bragging, feel good about it, put out some positive energy in the comments. Hope everybody has got a little bit of something to share. With that, as always, I appreciate you guys for watching the Scale News every week. With that, hit the like button if you enjoyed the episode, subscribe if you're not already, hit the notification bell so you see the videos as soon as they get uploaded. With that, thanks again for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.